For billions of years, the Sun has been untouchable. A perfect engine of plasma and light, ruling the solar system with absolute authority. Its wind, a storm of charged particles, has always flowed outward in every direction, shaping worlds, carving magnetic fields, defining the very edge of our domain. Nothing has ever bent it. Nothing has ever dared. Until now. Early data from NASA's Parker Solar Probe and the European Solar Orbiter revealed something that defied logic, a distortion deep within the solar wind. Streams of plasma that should have flowed in perfect symmetry were curving, bending, as if guided by an invisible hand. And at the center of that disturbance was something small, cold, and ancient. A visitor from the interstellar dark. An object now known as 3I Atlas. At first, astronomers dismissed it as another wandering comet, like Oumuamua or Borisov before it. But 3I Atlas behaved differently. It didn't simply reflect sunlight, it modulated it, changing brightness in deliberate, rhythmic pulses. The pattern was too precise to be coincidence. When the James Webb Space Telescope turned its instruments toward it, what it saw silenced even the skeptics. 3I Atlas wasn't just interacting with sunlight. It was communicating with it. The solar wind bent around it. The plasma curved as if obeying its presence. And, impossibly, the sun itself seemed to respond, its magnetic field pulsing in perfect synchrony with the object's flickering light. Some called it an anomaly. Others whispered something far more chilling, that 3I Atlas had found a way to control the star. Because if this interstellar visitor could truly bend the solar wind, then someone, or something, out there understood the language of the sun better than we ever will. It began with a ripple. Not of light but of plasma. Parker's sensors, deep within the sun's blistering corona, registered strange oscillations. The solar wind, the constant outpouring of charged particles, wasn't radiating evenly. It was curving, as though shaped by a hidden geometry. At first, scientists thought it was a data error. But when the solar orbiter, millions of kilometers away, recorded the same pattern, doubt vanished. Two spacecraft, two perspectives, one impossible truth. Something was twisting the sun's breath. As analysts reconstructed the readings, the picture became clear. The distortion wasn't chaos, it was symmetry. A smooth, rhythmic curve that aligned precisely with the path of 3I Atlas. Whatever this thing was, it wasn't drifting passively through space. It was doing something to the solar wind. Simulations failed to reproduce the effect. To shape plasma on that scale, the object would need a magnetic field stronger than any natural body of its size could generate. The sun, for the first time in human history, was being influenced by something external. Something small. Something alien. When Webb joined the investigation, the mystery deepened. Infrared scans revealed not random reflection but modulated light, energy that shifted in wavelength and rhythm, like a code hidden in brightness itself. Every few minutes, the light pulsed in perfect intervals. It wasn't chaotic, it wasn't rotational, it was intentional. As if the object were responding to a signal, or creating one. Then came the correlation that left everyone speechless. Each pulse of light matched fluctuations in the surrounding plasma. When 3I Atlas brightened, the solar wind bent harder. When it dimmed, the curvature relaxed. Light and energy moving together, bound in a single synchronized pattern, as though communicating across the void. Astrophysicists compared it to known stellar phenomena, pulsars, magnetic reconnections, plasma waves. None matched. The regularity was too perfect. The response too intelligent. 3I Atlas wasn't reflecting sunlight. It was manipulating it. The implications were terrifying. If those modulations were deliberate, this wasn't a rock or an icy relic. It was a machine. A construct capable of absorbing and shaping electromagnetic energy. For decades, scientists had theorized the existence of Dyson-like technologies, built to harness the energy of stars. But never had humanity seen one in motion. Inside the data, a frequency repeated every 4.3 seconds, a soft, persistent beat. A cosmic heartbeat. It didn't match any rotation, orbit, or resonance. It looked programmed. For the first time, the universe wasn't just being observed. It was looking back. As Parker transmitted more data, the evidence became undeniable. The solar wind, that unstoppable river of plasma, was being redirected around 3I Atlas as though the object were surrounded by an invisible shield. Instruments detected a perfect toroidal magnetic field, a ring of ordered energy. Such structure requires control, precision, intent. To produce that effect, 3I Atlas would need to generate electromagnetic forces equal to those of a small planet, an impossible feat for something barely the size of a city. And yet, there it was, bending the solar wind like a sculptor shaping molten glass. Some began calling it a living magnetosphere, an energy system capable of deflecting plasma as a defense mechanism. Others saw something else: propulsion. If the object could manipulate the sun's radiation, it might be using that energy to move. Webb's infrared readings confirmed another shock. 3I Atlas wasn't just reflecting light, it was absorbing it and re-emitting it in different wavelengths, almost like photosynthesis on a cosmic scale. The energy wasn't lost, it was transformed. Converted. Used. The pulses followed an exact rhythm, like a capacitor charging and discharging, feeding a hidden mechanism beneath its icy surface. Scientists compared the data to known energy cycles, solar sails, plasma propulsion, magnetic resonance. None matched. This was something beyond technology. Something alive in its precision. Each pulse corresponded perfectly with minor fluctuations in the sun's own magnetic field, as though 3I Atlas and the star were locked in conversation. And then came the theory no one wanted to say aloud. Maybe 3I Atlas wasn't a comet at all. Maybe it was built to deflect solar plasma with such balance, to absorb light with such precision. It would need materials and systems that humanity cannot yet create: superconductive alloys, quantum-level energy storage, and feedback control running at microsecond precision. Not a machine, perhaps, but something beyond the word. If that were true, then 3I Atlas was proof of a civilization operating on a Type II Kardashev scale. A species that commands the power of its own star. A civilization capable of bending solar wind not as a challenge, but as a form of art. A traveler moving between systems by surfing the magnetic tides of suns. And if it had done this before, if it had crossed 1,000 stars this way, then our sun was not its first. It was simply its next. Philosophers began to ask what this meant. If such beings exist, are they still biological, or have they transcended form entirely? Perhaps 3I Atlas isn't a probe or a ship, but a being, a structure of light and magnetism that lives through the energy of stars. A consciousness born of plasma, not flesh. Maybe what we're seeing isn't invasion. It's evolution. A glimpse of what intelligence becomes when it merges with energy itself. For the first time, humanity's oldest symbol of permanence, the sun, was humbled. Bent. Changed. Not destroyed, but taught something. Because in the silent language of energy, 3I Atlas may have spoken to our star, and the sun, in turn, may have answered. The cosmos is not quiet. It hums, vibrates, and communicates in radiation and rhythm. Every ripple carries intent. Every flicker holds memory. And somewhere, beyond the limits of our understanding, something ancient is still whispering through the solar wind. Maybe 3I Atlas wasn't a warning. Maybe it was a message. A reminder that light itself is alive, and that one day, we might be too. Subscribe to our channel and thanks for watching.